Let's look at our properties of logs. So when we're talking about logarithms, we do want to use properties similar to the properties we use with exponential functions, because those will help us find more easily dealt with logarithms. So what we're looking at are these three basic rules. The product rule, and this works in two different directions, allows us to take a log that has multiplication on the inside, like this, and we can break it apart into a sum of two different logs. This same rule can be used backwards to take two logs that are added together and combine them. Notice one thing with these, every single time our base has to be the same. If we have a different base, these can't combine this way. The quotient rule allows us to take a division problem and split it into subtraction. Notice that the numerator comes first and then we subtract away the denominator. Again, we can go backwards on that. If we have log base b of r minus log base b of s, we can put that together as a division problem. So we get log base b of r over s. The power rule allows us to get rid of an exponent. We use this quite often when we're trying to simplify things and solve an exponential function. It allows us to get stuff out of that exponent. So log base b of something to the nth power, we can rewrite that as n times that log. And in reverse, once again, we could go n times log base b of r could be rewritten as log base b of r to the n. Now, there's all sorts of reasons why we would want to expand or make things smaller. Sometimes we expand things because that allows us to solve for an x value or something. Sometimes we condense things so that it's just a smaller number that we're dealing with. It works both ways, and it's helpful both ways. So here we've got an example. We want to rewrite the following as a sum of logarithms. Log base 3 of 5x over the quantity 3y squared times z to the fifth. And when we're doing this, we're going to kind of try and break it apart as much as we can. So the first thing I see that I can get rid of is that division. So I can rewrite this whole thing as now I've got a lot of multiplications going on. So I'm going to split each of those multiplications into an addition problem. But we want to remember that this negative sign means that there's going to be parentheses or a bracket right here. And we can't forget about that. So first off, splitting that 5x, that's going to split into subtract all of these logs. So I can split this into three different logarithms. Now I can go through and I've got some exponents that I can go ahead and simplify down. Now, there's not a whole lot else I can simplify out other than this log base 3 of 3. That's going to simplify really nicely. 3 to the 1 power equals 3, so that's going to become 1. And then I can go ahead and distribute my negative sign in. This next one, we're looking to simplify the sum into a single logarithm. So here I've got ln of 80 plus the quantity ln of 5,000 minus 3 times ln of 5, all minus 5 times ln of 2. I'm going to kind of go about this from inside to the outside. So I'm going to start with all of the stuff inside my square brackets. So the first thing I see there is I can take that 3 and I can put it up here. At that same time, this 5 right here is also going to be able to fit up on that 2. Now I've got a subtraction problem right here, so I can combine that into a single quotient. Now I can go through, I can take this ln of 80 plus ln of 5,000 over 5 to the third, and that's going to end up giving me and now, once again, I have a division problem, so I can finish this off like this. So when I go through and I simplify that fraction as far as it'll go, I'm going to end up getting a very, very final, all the way simplified answer of ln of 100. You could also, if you wanted to, rewrite that as 2 ln of 10. Both of those are probably about the same as far as being fully simplified. Either one would be totally acceptable. Here's 2 examples. Go ahead, pause the video, try these ones out on your own, see what you get. We'll go through the answers in just a moment. All right, so simplifying this first one down, or breaking it apart, I mean, we're going to end up splitting this all apart piece by piece. So what we're going to get is now I'm going to want to go ahead and split apart that multiplication stuff there. Now I have a division problem nestled inside that first log. And lastly, I'm going to be able to move all of those exponents down out front. So for this one, I'm going to start by combining my first 2 terms here, because I'm going to go kind of left to right as much as I can, and I'm going to go in and finish tying some of stuff up as we go. So here, now I can go ahead and move this 2 up top. For my next step, what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine with that plus sign. I'm going to have to multiply through. And for my last step, I can go ahead and simplify this as much as possible. And what I'm going to get is two.